What is going on, everyone? Happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, whatever the hell the name for Sunday is. Who knows? Who cares? Happy holiday season. We are here. It is a Friday night. Once again on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube, Twitter, and yes, the Facebook channel. What's going on, Ozzy? What's going on, Chris? Everybody else getting up in the chat. We appreciate that. Molly here as well. Good evening to you. What's going on, Chris? And yes, again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We appreciate that, Ozzy. And no, Ozzy, Sid is not the trivia. Oh, what? Wrong one. Sid is not the trivia champion. He did not win the title match. And I still have not actually been eliminated because still there is nobody who has gotten more questions right than me. He was just close on a tiebreaker.
But let's get this clear. Team SPIII beat Team Rick. So there's only one person on this show, ladies and gentlemen, that is undefeated in the Sportskeeda Wrestling Trivia Federation. And
I was the count out. I was the count out elimination in this. Literally counted out because I was off by one. Sat was closer by one on a stupid tiebreaker. We should have had to go to another question.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're uncrowned Sportskeeda Wrestling Trivia Federation Champion of the World, SPIII. I want to thank Dutch. Dutch helped me out a lot. I appreciate Dutch. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dutch. And that's
you keep talking like that. I'm gonna take my belt, put it in my fridge, and go elsewhere. If you keep talking like that, all right. That's we'll have to handle that at some point down the line.
That's the only way you would be able to keep that title. It's not facing me.
What's going on, Dutch? You're on the show too. What's up?
Man, he blistered you. I like to start a Rick. Lighten up, brother.
Hey, I'm in a good mood.
Take things so seriously.
I am in a great mood, sir. I am in a fantastic mood. 12-0. Back-to-back undefeated seasons for my UC Bearcat. So ain't nothing going to bring me down, even Sid's BS tonight. And even, well, we had 3 hours of wrestling. That's not as
we did.
We had 3 shows, 2 shows, 3 hours of
Okay, I got a question tonight. Before we get started.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins got rolled on Raw, didn't he? What was the deal there?
He got speared is what happened.
I know, but how'd the guy get in?
Great question. Brooklyn has a history of this. If you remember, this was the same arena where Bret Hart got taken down during the Hall of Fame induction speech from the exact same spot, the exact same side. I don't know how this dude got past security, and not only that, was able to sprint and get up to full speed and take out Seth Rollins the way that he did.
He did a 30-yard dash.
No, it was a little bit of a jaunt. And he hit him, and
there was nothing that Rollins could do. Like, Rollins didn't even see the guy until the last second. He looks out of the corner of his eye, and then boom, he gets gang tackled and basically puts him in a guillotine and waits for security to show up, which thankfully wasn't very long at all. But yeah, man, I don't know how that happens. How does that happen twice in the same arena within 2 years?
With all the security they got around there. Really,
literally, they're paying somebody too much.
So, okay, the guy, they took him to jail, I guess, right? They arrested him.
Yeah.
And he got out, and he did this interview the very next day.
Yeah.
He's got some screws loose, doesn't he? A little bit, you think?
I don't think he has any screws left at all. Based off of that video. This is a guy who clearly thinks he's part of the show or something. Said he did it for Roman. He did it for the bloodline. He did it for the family. He's asking Vince for a contract. I mean, this guy is
gone.
Several tacos short of a combination platter.
Yeah, he had a Rick Ucchino shirt on. Is all I know.
Yeah. I don't know where he got those because I don't sell merch. I got a very strict no merch policy. But man.
But I'm gonna tell you, and I was looking at that, and I'm thinking, we used to get that stuff used to happen to us all the time. I mean, not necessarily they'd run in from the blind side, but we used to fight fans all the time because the security wasn't there. And he's lucky, and I don't know what the guy's motive was or what his intentions were, but he's lucky the guy didn't have a weapon.
Yeah.
If he had a knife or blade, it could be a totally different story. And I'm glad Seth didn't get hurt. Now, back in the day when I've seen it happen, they would take the guy in the back room. Now, this was the days before all the cameras and all. And they just take him in a room, close the door, and have a couple of guys just walk the dog on him. So, and then they would arrest him and take him out after the guy gets, it's 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. Yeah, well, but he started it. He started it, and if you can't finish it, then don't start it.
Yeah, this guy was much luckier than the dude in Brooklyn because there was no Cash Wheeler there to just jaw jack that guy. Because my dude Jimmy Yang was standing right there as they're taking that guy out, and I texted him after the show. I was like, dude, I was waiting for you to just clock that dude, and he was like, I had a clean shot. I was like, you should have taken the damn thing.
I actually ran into Jimmy, and he told me to tell you hi.
Oh, hi. He could have just texted me.
Saw him at the hotel for media. I mentioned something about Sportskeeda wrestling. He was like, "Oh yeah, my man Rick works there." I was like, "Yeah, I seen his match." He was like, "Was it good?" I was like, "I'll claim it if you thought it was good."
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Jimmy's a good guy. But yeah, man, that's the thing, and that. At least with all the metal detectors and everything nowadays to get through into shows, like it would be hard to get a weapon in there. Not that it's impossible, but yeah, man, you don't know what the hell's going on with these guys. And I guess
he came through the back, and you don't know what weapon he could have picked up just in the back.
It's true.
If he found they were working on something, he could get a screwdriver. He could get anything.
I mean,
I don't think that was his intention, but
I was really surprised by his listing. He's only 5'4", 170 pounds or something like that.
Bull crap.
No, that was what he marked out as at the police station.
Crazy.
170 does not look good on 5'4". I'll say that much.
No, it makes you look heavy, and he looked much bigger than he actually was there.
Now, there was also, I guess part of this was, I think Fightful reported that he was like catfished by somebody online pretending to be Seth Rollins. So
great story.
The
story's getting better now.
Here's my PSA for the day. If you think you're talking to a WWE superstar online, you're not. Unless it's a verified Twitter or Instagram account, you're not. I'm sorry to burst your bubble and shatter your hopes and dreams. You're not. Stop it.
But if he was catfish, still that doesn't explain how he got backstage. Unless now he had help.
I don't know if he came from backstage. I think he came from the side. Side.
He came from the side, but
yeah,
that's where it's all backstage. All that's controlled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just can't come in from the side. I mean, that's all the.
He jumped the guardrail somewhere and then hopped up onto the stage. I don't think he actually came from behind the stage because this, especially the way that this new set is set up, it's wide open. And I mean, it would be really. It's a lot easier than you would think to hop up there. A couple security guards should have just nabbed this dude before he even got anywhere close enough to sniff Seth Rollins, let alone gang tackle his ass and bring him down to the ground.
Dude, 30-yard dash into that man. How did you not figure out the camera was still on him, so the camera thought he was a part of the show as well. So I think security saw him jump and then thought he was a part of the show. So
the raw camera was still on him?
Yeah.
For about half a second.
Caught the spear part at the very least. They didn't catch.
Yeah, he got taken down, and then they cut, and then they ran the video package of the replay of what happened with Rollins and who he beat up, Finn Balor, and then by the time it comes back, Rollins is back on stage going, I'm the best. Now, I will say, when Rollins came back out at the end of the night, and he started doing his, just to make sure the coast was clear, I don't think Seth Rollins could have played that entire night out any better. He was a pro. Look at DJ Eric here spending $5 to hype up SPIII.
Okay.
The fine folks at Sportskeeda Wrestling, thank you for your contribution there, DJ Eric.
I am a man of the people. I'm just like all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I am just a professional wrestling fan who just knows a lot of information about trivia. That's why Rick has been ducking me so long.
So that's why you stomped him.
Yes. That's why
he didn't do anything.
But Dutch, not only did I stomp him, you remember what I said last week? What did I say last week? I said we would sweep him. And we did just that. Like another great New Yorker or New York Yankee of the past, Babe Ruth. I called my shot and I hit a home run.
Okay, what came first, the sweeping or the mopping?
The sweeping. We sweep first and then we mop. We want
Mopped up.
Look all shiny and stuff when it goes back.
Rick, I gotta ask
now
you.
Now DJ Eric wants a piece.
Is this true? Did you lose?
I personally did not lose. No,
you lost.
My team, I did not. No. Okay, Dutch. Does this count? All right. So it was 2-2 going into the final question. We both got it wrong, which, by the way, Sat answered incorrectly the first time, and then the judge allowed him to answer again to where he got it wrong twice because he misheard the question. So he answered wrong in the first place, and then the judge allowed him to answer again, and he got it wrong again. I also got it wrong, but we had to guess a number, and whoever was ever closest got to move on, and I was off by 1.
Well, that does sound a little bit dicey.
Thank you.
So I'm just saying, but did he lose, Sid?
He lost. That's all that matters.
I still don't know how John Alba did not remember that Lana was a sole survivor. That literally happened last year. Sitting here screaming. If I had gone second, I would have swept. I would have got all 5 right. Swept.
Mopped.
You got swept.
Joke.
We
got freaking Sonya Deville in charge of this freaking trivia league we got going on here. This is just biased officiating. I win a match and then we got to change all the rules and then I keep winning and then we got people answering wrong questions wrong, but somehow I still lose.
I think to clear this up, you're going to have to write out a clear definition of the rules.
Okay.
Send it to them. They have to sign it. And
they keep changing every freaking week. All right, we're 12 minutes into the show. Should we maybe talk?
Yeah, let's talk some wrestling here.
This is Smack
I'm
Talk.
I'm about ready to go.
Well,
I thought SmackDown was good this week. I really do.
I thought it was okay. I thought Rampage was okay. It was 3 hours of wrestling tonight. I'll say that. Sid, I know you loved Rampage tonight.
I really enjoyed the opener and the main event of Rampage. I thought both were very good to great with the main event. Just gritty as hell. I love me some Eddie Kingston, probably my favorite wrestler at the moment, not named Thunder Rosa. So yeah, I really enjoyed Rampage. The Riho Britt Baker match was pretty good as well. SmackDown, it was a show. The Battle Royal I enjoyed. The Battle Royal I thought was entertaining. I found Cesaro and Ridge Holland pretty good. Other than that, I probably won't remember this show next week.
You know what? To be honest, I would say this is going to be shocking. I think this tonight overall was the best showing for Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss for the entire time that they had been a thing. I think this has been the best showing for both of them as a team that they've had. Now, granted, that's not saying much because what we've seen out of them for the majority of the time are these horrendous dad jokes that are embarrassing even for dad jokes. But I thought the tag team match with McIntyre and Jeff Hardy was fun for what it was. And they finally made me laugh in the damn Battle Royal with their spot where Madcap was like, you thought I was going to chuck you out. And then Happy Corbin was like, yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and chuck you out because you're a dumbass. I actually laughed at that. That's the first time they got a laugh out of me in the entire time that they've been a team. So I got to give them tonight. This was their best showing so far. Not saying much, but it was still their best showing.
Hey, was Nakamura, is that his name? Was he there?
He was on TV. He didn't do anything.
Okay.
Well, actually, he did. He had the coolest spot of the night when he kicked Humberto Carrillo through the table. while he was shredding the guitar. So there that is. We still can't get anything going for our Intercontinental Champion. We'll get to that coming up. But most of the show tonight was centered around one Roman Reigns, and Kayla Braxton had a nice little angle here going on tonight. Pretty
That
much
was very good.
Yeah.
Kayla Braxton was my MVP of SmackDown.
And Heyman.
Yeah.
I think
always
Heyman's
got to berate the
interview was
reporters. Always got to berate the reporters. Special place in my heart for those reporters because, well, I am one. But Heyman just tears her down to shreds, talking about rumors about Brock Lesnar's indefinite suspension possibly being lifted. Reigns then gets on the mic and says everyone's a loser compared to him, which, if we saw on Survivor Series, yeah, that's accurate. Calls Brock Lesnar the number one loser. He shits on the Battle Royal tonight, says it doesn't matter who wins, says you can give 4 or 5 people to win tonight.
Good interview.
Here's the interesting thing. He said his time could be up sooner rather than later. Now, I did find that to be kind of out of place for everything that he was talking about there. He did bring up his contract in the whole egg saga over the weekend on at Survivor Series.
Explain the egg saga.
You want me to explain the egg saga to you?
Please. I didn't see it.
So this was a giant movie plug, basically. The movie's called Red Notice, which is on Netflix. It stars The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and the chick who plays Wonder Woman, whose name is escaping me, Gal Gadot. And it's a heist movie, basically, and they're stealing Cleopatra's egg. Or there's 3 of them or something like that. I'm only 20 minutes into the movie. Which I guess I guess the
what do you watch
movies? It got me to watch it.
What do you watch, movies and segments or what?
I have 2 kids, so yes, I watch movies and segments.
Okay, I got it. I'm just kidding, Rick. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But
anywho, so apparently Netflix or the producers or the production company or whatever paid an obscene amount of money to do this spot with WWE, and they stretched this storyline out over 2 nights, Survivor Series and Monday Night Raw, where Vince McMahon shows up at Survivor Series, and apparently he has not a prop, but the real Cleopatra egg that was gifted to him by The Rock, because Survivor Series is all about The Rock, even though he wasn't there. And then, so he has this $100 million egg that he's leaving sit right on his desk, and it disappears. And then it's all of a sudden who done it. And then on Monday night, it turns out it was Austin Theory who did it because he wanted to get a selfie with it. And then security approached him and he kind of got nervous and ran off. And for some reason, he got a WWE title shot out of it. That's the short and skinny of it.
Hey, that makes perfect sense.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an excellent angle. Definitely. But again, I guess it worked because it got me to turn on the movie. Between that and the Pizza Hut spot, as Raju brings up, yeah, pretty much the entire Street Profits angle from.
Tell me about the Pizza Hut spot.
Was that on? That was on Monday.
That was on Survivor Series. I was there. I was there live for that. Yeah.
How was that?
So basically, they built and Sid, refresh me on that because you were there. I know the Street Profits were involved in this, but they built an entire angle around an entire match around a Pizza Hut commercial, basically.
Yeah, the Rock 25th anniversary 25-man battle royal was sponsored by Pizza Hut with their new 3-dish thing, and then Omos, who won, wanted to get the pizza afterwards. AJ got it stolen from him by the Street Profits, and then they threw pizza in the crowd. Yes, they threw pizza into a Brooklyn crowd. No wonder someone jumped the rail.
That's funny.
First off,
the rail. No more pizza. No more pizza.
That pizza was cold. That pizza was stale. That pizza was probably a prop.
Yes.
I will, as somebody who has actually caught a New Day pancake, believe me when I tell you, catching food from a WWE superstar is not as glamorous as you would think it would be.
I wouldn't think it would be.
This is okay. Funny story before we get on. When I was at Raw in Cincinnati, it was right after Kofi had won the WWE Championship, and he's pulling these pancakes out of his WWE title belt, and he's chucking them into the crowd. This guy sprinted down from the upper deck, down several flights of stairs, and he was almost to the bottom before he slipped, fell on his ass, and then slid all the rest down the steps all the way to the floor just to get one of these nasty ass pancakes, which, by the way, when he was walking up, went right over his head and hit me in the hand.
Great story. Did you eat the pancake?
No, I did not. But somebody close to me did eat part of the pancake. And trust me, it's just one of these like Kroger frozen pancake things. It's not. It was cold. It was no. Plus, it hit the floor.
No syrup on it either.
No, I'm not a savage. All right. If I want a pancake, I'll go to IHOP. All right. So anyway, everything's built around Roman Reigns tonight, and who's going to be the next challenger for the Universal Championship, and then Kayla Braxton. Is she going to be able to find a source, a confirmation about whether or not Brock Lesnar's suspension is going to be lifted? And miraculously, she finds out at the end of the night. But let's start off with Roman Reigns. We get this battle royal, the Black Friday battle royal. Couple little minor storylines built in here. I think the most interesting thing here was the lack of two people who were involved in this match. One being King Woods, who has been feuding with Roman Reigns leading up to this battle royal. Now, according to Bleacher Report, Woods asked for this week off, so that might have a lot to do with that. And then, for whatever reason, they exclude Drew McIntyre from the damn thing. He goes back there. He talks to Adam Pearce. He talks to Sonya Deville. He's like, hey, I'm just making sure. Hey, I should be in this thing. I want to be in this thing. Make sure I'm in this damn thing. And then, of course, he's not there. And then when he finds out that he's not there, they get all 20 people in the ring. And then he comes down with Angela and attempts murder on 20 people. Adam Pearce comes out and says, what the hell are you doing? He's like, make me leave, damn it. And then we come back from a commercial break and he's gone.
He made him leave. He made him leave, apparently.
He made Adam Pearce can't take on Brock Lesnar, but a big-ass Drew McIntyre with a sword, no problem. So they get Drew out of there. And then, yeah, we have the Battle Royal, and they made you think Jeff Hardy was going to win tonight in front of that North Carolina crowd. They really made you think it was going down. And then Sami Zayn eliminates Jeff Hardy at the end of the match. So Sami Zayn has the Universal Championship match, which in my mind, in my heart of hearts, I'm going, this could be really cool. Sami Zayn's going to get a shot at the Universal Championship. And then, of course, they completely blow off his moment with Kayla Braxton going into the earpiece like, I've just been told that Brock Lesnar's coming back, which tells me that this Sami Zayn match is not going to be very much, and it's probably a good thing that Jeff Hardy didn't win this thing in the end, Sid.
I think he'll get the match.
Oh, he'll get it.
Yeah.
It ain't going to mean much, though, in the grand scheme of things.
Well, it can only mean just a little bit anyway, just for the entertainment value of it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably have a good match, but so what do you think will happen then? He's going to be back next week, right?
Yeah, Lesnar will be back next week.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think they're hot-shotting him sooner rather than later. They may push Sammy's shot off to day one, and then it's going to be probably Brock and Roman at the Royal Rumble would be my guess, which means maybe it's going to be Roman and Drew at WrestleMania if they're not giving Drew the title shot right now. If they're bringing Brock back now.
Oh, they say they are.
They say they are, and they're advertising him for next week. They say he's going to be there next week. If they're bringing him back now, he's getting another shot sooner rather than later. That would be that's what they're telling me anyway by that. That's what I'm reading into.
Can you verify that, Kayla?
I cannot.
But that would be verification. Rumors. It's rumors.
Rumors and speculation.
You're making it up.
And assumptions.
Yeah. Well, but interesting.
That's my church, the Our Lady of Perpetual Assumption. That's what I do.
That's good.
Great job there.
I think Sami Zayn won it, but Brock is coming back.
Yes,
but this is what they've done. They've made people think now. How do you connect this together? So, and they don't know what to think, but I think they'll watch next week. Let me ask you one thing before we get too deep in this. What was Rampage's rating last week? Number?
Over 500,000 again.
And what was SmackDown?
I think SmackDown did over 2 million.
Wow. That's a lot of people on a Friday night.
Yes. I think there's two possibilities with Sami Zayn winning this battle royal. Either we get a quick match on TV between Roman and Sami. I think that there's no shot in hell that Sami Zayn is in a Universal Championship matchup at a pay-per-view. Don't think that's happening. Just don't.
Mm-hmm.
And if this was Sami Zayn of 2015, Sami Zayn of NXT, El Generico, yeah, I would believe so. But this iteration of Sami Zayn, not going to be opposite Roman Reigns in a main event of a pay-per-view. It's just not going to happen. So
unless there's a babyface turn coming here.
Nothing we saw tonight said babyface turn.
Yeah, even if it was, he's still not. He needs a lot of maintenance done to him because they've done too much under silly stuff with him, and you got to let that wear off. They need to do something to him. If they want to get him over, they need to do something to him to kind of really make the people feel sorry for him.
He's lost every freaking week. He lost on Monday against Damian Priest. Like, this is the same good dude that has won a total of 7 times in 4 years. Yes, I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. Sami Zayn has won singles or battle royals. He's possibly, I think it's 7 or 8. He's probably won 7 or 8 matches in 4 years. This is not the strong contender or the strong challenger we've been asking for Roman Reigns. I like the Roman Reigns story, but I've been feeling like this for a couple of months now, and only going back and reverting back to Brock Lesnar kind of confirms this. I think they have hit a wall with this Roman Reigns story. They have built him up so big, so powerful, that literally the only people that we think can beat him is John Cena or Brock Lesnar. Literally no one that we see week to week do we think can beat Roman Reigns.
Well, you have two contenders now. You got Drew, and you have Hardy that the people have faith in. And going back to your question, Mr. Rick, he said sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
So if Brock is coming back, they may switch this thing for a short period. But see, that presents a problem all to itself. You switch it, how do you get it off of him?
Well, it'll be Roman taking it off of him at WrestleMania. So we'll get Roman and Brock at. This is what WWE would do: is they would open up the show with Brock taking the belt off of Roman at. Well, if they did it at day one, which I don't think they're going to do Roman and Brock at day one. I think that's a Royal.
Day one's in Atlanta.
Yeah. Day one, Atlanta, New Year's Day. I highly doubt that's the match that we get at day one. To me, it screamed like Xavier Woods was the logical choice there. Maybe that's still the route that they go if they just do a quick squash match with Sami, maybe next week. Who knows? Hell, they could have announced the match on Twitter while we're on the air right now. Who the hell knows? But if Sammy's just there as kind of not a very formidable one, but a roadblock basically for Roman Reigns, between Roman Reigns and there, maybe we get Xavier Woods or somebody else in that spot. But Royal Rumble, I think if Brock takes the belt off of Roman will enter the Royal Rumble. Roman will win the Royal Rumble. The main event will be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and Roman will win the belt back, and we'll be right back to where we were today.
Wait, you think Roman Reigns is losing his title before WrestleMania?
That's what he said if they make the switch there. That's the scenario that plays out.
They're not making a switch. They would have done that at Sweet Saudi Money 6. They would have done it there. They would have done the title change there. Roman is holding on to this title.
Rumor. It's a rumor.
Rumor and innuendo. But if he was gonna drop that title, it was gonna be in Saudi Arabia because that's their most lucrative event of the year. He's not. I don't think he's gonna drop it at the Royal Rumble or at day one or on any SmackDown before WrestleMania. I think he's gonna walk into WrestleMania once again the Universal Champion. And plus, if he gets to Royal Rumble as champion, he becomes the longest reigning Universal Champion of all time. Passes Brock Lesnar's record.
because they mentioned the 453 days. They mention it every week, right?
Yeah, they're counting to something. So he's going to break the record. He'll break the record. He'll get well over 500 days. Yeah, I mean, and this is something that we've talked about for weeks now. When you look at the landscape of the SmackDown men's division after the draft, where a lot of former champions and a lot of your high-level guys went over to Monday Night Raw, we looked at the SmackDown roster and we went, well, it's Drew or it's Brock. When is it going to happen? Who's it going to be? And they haven't really built anybody up yet. So it looked like they were building Xavier up. I still don't think he's going to be the guy to take the belt off of him. So who else is there? You look at a guy like Jeff Hardy, and I'm not saying that Jeff Hardy is going to be the guy that takes the title off of him, but Jeff Hardy is still insanely over. It's not just North Carolina. It's not just Brooklyn. I've been to 3 shows this year where Jeff Hardy has been on the card in 3 different cities, and he got one of the loudest damn pops of the night. It would be so easy for them to just flip the switch and just have Jeff Hardy be a top singles contender again. Wrestle his promos are the best, but they never have been the best.
It doesn't matter. He's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't get over because of his interviews. He got over because of all that stuff he does that he still does.
Yeah.
And his interviews are a lot better than they used to be. So, but they do have 2 guys they can work with, and that's McIntyre and that is Hardy. So they're not really in as bad a shape as they were 6 months ago. Remember we was talking about it? They have no bench.
Yeah.
But their bench is better now, even with getting rid of everybody.
I thought they would have went with Hardy here. I think the whole, to answer Paul's here, what was the point not to have Drew in the Battle Royal? I think that this is the slow burn to
Wait a minute.
Roman.
I'll call Vince and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, why don't you hop on that for us?
Hey, Vince, pal, what the hell? God damn it.
I think we're getting Drew versus Roman at Royal Rumble. That's where I think it's going to happen. They're not going to have – I don't think they're going to have Drew win another Royal Rumble. So I think that the way they get to another Drew versus Roman matchup is this. This is the slow. They can come up with the story that it was Roman that got him removed from the Battle Royal to build into Royal Rumble. They have done – although I said, like, I feel like the Roman Reigns story has hit a wall. And a lot of that comes down to the last couple of months, because I feel like this whole title reign was built very nicely up until SummerSlam. When Brock came back, I feel like they have put more focus on that feud more than his title reign. When you have a ring having to break for him to beat the Demon, and then he just beats Big E with 2 moves on Sunday, that makes Big E look bad. Honestly, like this is when you get to the point where you built someone up so much that his future wins, that he wins clean, hurts other people or hurts the person that he beats clean because of some of the other finishes he have. I think that they have hit the point of no return with Roman, where I don't know when this title reign is going to end. I feel like every title reign, especially long title reigns, you should kind of see the contender coming. Like when it was AEW, when Kenny Omega was on his long run, you saw Hangman Page running. Even in WWE, the 434-day reign of CM Punk, kind of people saw The Rock coming like midway through because they made that announcement in like July. When it comes to Brock Lesnar's 500-something days with the Universal title, you had Roman Reigns in the waiting to become the next champion. There's no one like that for Roman. Like it's just guesses everywhere.
So one of the factors you're considering is that Roman will beat Brock's. You say Brock went 500 days?
Yes.
And you think they're going to have Roman go and sort of take that from him? Yes. Okay, that could be part of the story. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Rick? Loser of the trivia games.
I didn't lose nothing. It definitely makes a lot of sense, the fact that they keep calling this a historic title run, and they keep, keeping tabs every single week saying how many days that he has been he has been on this. And so Brock Lesnar's run with the belt was 503 days from April 2nd of 2017 to August 19th of 2018. At 453 days as of today. So he's 50 days away from tying it right now, which, yeah, by the time he makes it to the Royal Rumble, yeah, he'll be well over that at that point. So they keep saying it's historic, and even though it's not, because it's not the longest title reign yet. But he is well over a year. He has run through a lot of people, and that's what he said tonight. That's basically what they came out in their promos. Like, look, they flat out told you there ain't nobody left. Roman Reigns has literally beaten every worthy competitor they have, with the exception of Big E and Drew McIntyre. Yes, he beat them both, but not as title challengers. He beat them at Survivor Series in back-to-back years, and the Usos helped him beat Drew McIntyre. So, or at least Jimmy did, or Jay did at the time. So at least the Drew thing makes sense to me. And if out of anybody that we've talked about, if it's going to be Brock or if it's going to be Drew or whoever, I would choose Drew a million times over Brock, because Brock doesn't need the damn win.
Okay, who took him out of the Battle Royal, do you think?
I think it was Roman.
I think that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, could be.
Because Roman, as confident as he plays and says that he's smashed and stacked everybody, he occasionally will let it slip. He'll let it show. And he's really brilliant at doing that subtly when he's threatened by somebody. And clearly after that match that he had at last year's Survivor Series, he's threatened by Drew McIntyre. And who the hell wouldn't be? Big 6'5", 285-pound guy wielding a sword. Who wouldn't be threatened by that guy?
That doesn't kip up.
Clear out of, yeah, who doesn't kip up? Who's that freaking Claymore he hit on Madcap tonight?
Oh yeah, it was good.
That was damn good. That was damn good. That was some of the best. That was one of the best ones I've seen in a while, outside of the one that he gave to Ricochet. So I think Sid's theory there of Roman keeping Drew out makes a ton of sense. Because I like the idea of Adam Pearce being threatened, because we've seen that he's vulnerable now. He even made that mention that the therapy sessions that I had to go through after Brock kicked my ass. So I think he's really kind of vulnerable, and the two authority figures, Sonya, the one that doesn't really back down from anybody. I thought her and Sasha had a really good exchange tonight, even though they keep moving the goalpost on this thing between her and Naomi. That needs to pay off sooner rather than later.
But I didn't understand what they were doing tonight. She got up and she was applauding her, and it kind of like, it's still there.
It's still there, yeah. But they're just kicking the can down the road, which to me screams that they don't have an end game. They don't know where this was going when they started it. And this always freaking happens. It's like Rowan and the Spider all over again.
This is an issue with both companies. They think because a feud is in the mid card, it could just go on and on and on and on and on with no likely destination in sight. Because AEW got that of their own with Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy, because that feud is still going on. I'm happy that there was no Matt Hardy sighting on tonight's show. And WWE, they got it going on Raw and SmackDown. Raw got the Mysterio family still losing handicap matches to heels, making them look like baby faces. And then you got on SmackDown Naomi and Sonya Deville, and that I don't know when it's going to end. I just don't. I liked it a lot in the first couple of weeks, but as it goes on, I'm losing interest.
See, they're looking for something to get hot. Like, years ago, when they would shoot an angle, they would shoot it for like 3 weeks. And if it was really hot, then they would adjust it and stretch it. But very few went on more than 6 weeks, because then you'll just wear it out. That's the problem with, a lot of promotions. They just keep it running, and just like you said, they think they can run it forever. You got to have a cutoff point or a swaying point in it to where you just go in a different direction, and you can come back and grab it at some point. But that drives me nuts too. So like the Naomi and Sonya Deville thing, like I agree with Rick. They don't know where it's going. I don't think they know. And I think it's changeable, because I've been in those creative meetings. They change it all the time. So even if you had a clear path to where you wanted to go, the more you talk about it, the more that path would meander along, and they'll stretch it out and end up most of the time kind of taking all the steam off of it.
We're going on 3 months, ladies and gentlemen, of this story.
3 months.
The problem is, especially from a week-to-week basis, there's no progression. You can keep the story going as long as it takes some twists and turns and some ups and downs, and you move on to a new chapter. We're still on chapter 3, and we've been on chapter 3 for 2 damn months. The only thing that they've done new in the last 2 weeks is involve Aaliyah in this, and now they've involved Sasha Banks in
Aaliyah,
this.
where was she tonight?
She was there for about 8 seconds. I
saw
her. She was talking to Kayla Braxton.
Right.
Okay, I got it.
Came up behind her. I knew I saw her. I just had to remember where it was. So no follow-up to any of Aaliyah's stuff the last 2 weeks. So she had a match. It was good. She had a tag match. She got screwed over by Sonya Deville, and now she's back to being backstage talking to various people and being seen on camera and looking pretty, and that's what they want her to do, I guess. But yeah, so that's the only new wrinkle is now Sonya is being biased against anybody who's friendly to Naomi. But 3 damn months, we don't know what the issue was. Right out of the gate, something had to have happened. And I don't know if they have an idea of what that something is. And that's why they're elongating it, is because they can't figure out why. Why does Sonya hate Naomi?
They don't know. That's why they even
easy answer.
They're even acknowledging that that's the question now. That's when it's bad for WWE when they're asking us as fans. What's the answer to you? Do you guys know why Sonya doesn't like Naomi? That's basically what that whole segment and commentary with Pat McAfee giving her the 3rd degree was about. It was for the fans to try to figure out, do you guys know why Sonya does? Because we don't. So y'all can come up with an answer and we'll just go with it.
Pat McAfee, by the way, was an MVP tonight on commentary. He was hilarious. But Steven, to your question here, or to your comment here, they're going to drag it out until day 1, Naomi versus Sonya. That's the same exact thing that we said for freaking SummerSlam. They're going to drag it out until SummerSlam, and then, it's going to be Naomi versus Sonya. And then it was like, they'll drag it out to Survivor Series, and then it'll be Naomi versus Sonya. Now we're talking about dragging it out until day 1, and then we'll be talking about dragging it out until the Royal Rumble. And maybe that'll finally be the payoff, is Sonya puts herself in the Royal Rumble, Naomi eliminates her, and then we never talk about this ever again.
So can we safely assume we don't know, we don't have an idea where it's going?
Nope.
I mean, we can sit here and just say, well, they could do this, and they could do a lot of things. What we're saying is they just need to speed it up and get to wherever they're going.
If the happy outcome here, or the only outcome here, is that we get a semi-team bad reunion, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a Sasha Naomi tag team, because the women's division, they need tag teams. They only have technically 2.
Okay, let me ask you this then. While we're talking about the women, I thought Charlotte's interview tonight was good.
It was perfect. It was exactly what
very good. And then here come down Tony Storm.
And then they ruined it.
And then they brought Tony Storm saying the same thing she said last week, and then ends up with cake in her face. I mean, I didn't mind that too much. It was okay, but
Dutch.
I did. I did. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Rick, but I was totally done with this whole segment. I agree with you. Charlotte's promo was on point. It was what she would do. The Queen would do in basically washing away the loss that she got at Survivor Series. So I thought that was on point. But everything from Tony Storm coming out, Tony Storm says something. She basically repeats what she said last week, and Charlotte basically buries her on the mic, saying that I'm not worried about you. You're nothing compared to me. And then she buries her physically by putting a pie in her face, and Tony doesn't even Tony just stands there and takes it.
That's the question I was going to ask Dutch. Dutch, if somebody throws a damn pie in your face, you're not going to not do nothing. Like, literally, Tony just stood there and let her hit her with a second pie.
Second one.
And she did this. She shimmied over to her doing it. It was like this segment was written to make sure that you view Tony Storm one level below Charlotte Flair, because the way it all went down, it felt like you know what, Charlotte, we kicked you out the building that other week. We want you to write this segment. You write the segment. How do you want this to go? Because if I'm Charlotte Flair, that was the perfect segment for me. I got to look good with my promo, wash away that loss I took, and then I got to bury somebody.
You know what would have been better? Just have Charlotte powerbomb her through the damn table. That would have been better. You want to embarrass her? You want to cover her in food? Have Charlotte throw her across the table. Have them get into a fight. It spills to the outside, and Charlotte does the old, bar fight where they put her on the desk and they run her across the top of the bar. Have her do that. Having Toni Storm stand there and take 2 pies to the face makes her look like, 1, a dumbass, and 2, a coward, because if somebody throws a damn pie in my face, I'm coming out swinging. I don't care if I can see or not.
Well, we'll know not to hit you with the pie in the face now.
Unless it's for charity. You hit me with a pie.
Hey, that was good, Rick. That was a good comeback. Yeah, a little bit of humor in here. So me and Sid are looking at you like this. Okay, we won't hit you with the pie because you hit us.
Okay.
Yeah, they should have made her look a little stronger. Then do something, put her through the table, like you say. Then hit her with the pie.
Yeah. If it's insult to injury, not the first move. And yes,
I had to I don't hardly ever laugh at anything on a wrestling show because it's not funny to me. But when she's there with the pie, I laughed. I just laughed. It was an entertaining laugh, and I wouldn't want to be her, but
Dutch, should you be laughing at the baby face here?
No. You need to. She need to get one up on Charlotte, then have Charlotte do something to her.
Exactly.
Oh, but guys, it's because we're so sympathetic for Toni right now. We're so sympathetic for her.
We are.
Now we're behind her. That's what they're doing. That's the plan. We're going to make her look as stupid as possible because we've all been clamoring for her to be on TV. They pay attention to social media. That's why she's in this spot in the first damn place.
Yep. Well, let me ask you one more question while we're on this segment in SmackDown. What's the guy's name that's Sheamus is with? What's his name? Holland?
Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland. And he came out with Cesaro. And what's the first thing you think when they come out? When you see who's winning?
I would think Ridge Holland was going to win, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too. But I'm glad they changed it, which was better because the guy shouldn't have come in. Cesaro's too good just to be used that way. And they got something out of it. But I actually thought the first hour of Raw was pretty entertaining.
I thought Ridge Holland looked pretty solid in this match. He needs to work on the little things.
Who you remind me of? Young Ole Anderson. You remember him?
Yes.
You may have been before your time. That Ole was a dog, brother. He was over to him and Gene in Mid Atlantic. They were over. That's why we talk about CM Punk getting attacked. Ole got attacked and got about 80 stitches. He come out of the ring. That's how much heat they had. So we didn't used to worry about guns. You worried about knives.
Yeah.
They would cut the crap out of you. Another guy in Knoxville one time, I think it's John City, he got like 100 stitches. The guy cut him with a hog bill.
A what?
All the way down. A hog bill is like turned a little bit.
Oh, God.
I think it's called a hog bill. But when he hooked him, see, it's got a point that comes out and it hooks.
Okay.
That hurt me just listening to that. In reference to this match, I thought that
I'm just gonna curl up in the corner here.
I thought that this was a good showcase match because they showcased and displayed Ridge Holland's strength and his talents very well here. That's what made me even more think that Ridge Holland was going to win. And then Cesaro got the win in the end because that was the right way to progress this story because this is just the beginning of this whole I guess Sheamus is in the middle of a love triangle with his ex-lover and his current lover. So I mean,
that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Explain that to me now. The lover and the ex-lover. Tell me.
Yeah, well, Sheamus and Cesaro were a tag team. Back in the day.
I got it.
Okay. And they were multi-time, I think 5-time tag team champions at one point. So now you got this new guy, this Ridge Holland, who basically confessed his love to Sheamus last week. We're speaking facetiously, but he's a big admirer of Sheamus, and now Sheamus sees this young gun, and
so
it's like,
we have
what do I need the old dog for?
We have some homoerotica going on here.
I could totally
in front of us.
I could totally see some fans making fan fiction out of this storyline. I totally see that. I can totally see it. I'm just saying from tag teams, they're like brothers, they're like lovers, they're golden lovers. You've seen it all before, but
a lot of bonding there, a lot of male bonding.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Okay, I got it.
So Sheamus sees this young guy and says, look, there's a lot that I could do with him. There's a lot I could do with Ridge Holland. This is a guy I can mold. Why do I need busted old ass Cesaro? You know, why do I need that?
They're not giving him a push. They might push this Ridge Holland guy.
Yeah, they might do that. I did think Ridge looked good, showcasing the power moves.
Too green.
Oh, Dutch always hitting them buttons, man. I'll tell you what, Sid, there was one part in this match that just made me go, come the hell on. And then we saw it again later. I cannot stand when somebody there's Dutch. There we go. He's back. Why
do you keep cutting me off, Rick?
You're the
Are you mad at me because I complained and I just made a little bit of a joke with you about losing the trivia contest to Sid? He's mad at me. See how he is, Sid?
Always.
Anywho, there was one spot in this match that drives me absolutely crazy. It's one of my pet peeves, is when somebody gets rolled up and they just dead fish it. Like, they don't even try to kick out. They just sit there flat as a pancake, like, all right, not going to move. I'm supposed to be pinned here. Ridge did it tonight, and surprisingly, Natalya did it. And Natalya should know better than not to do that. Like, just kick your damn legs. Look like you're trying to get out of the damn thing. Don't just, like, lay still like that. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in wrestling. It's such a small thing.
You know what I hate?
It looks so much better.
You know about pet peeves? I hate almost the same thing. They'll wait to the closest to the 3 count as they can get. And then the guy and their faces go, I can't believe you. Go, what the fuck? You know, it pisses me off. I mean, damn, at least have something big happen to you before you make you put a big move on the guy and he kicks out. They do it all the time. Who did that? Some guy shot him in today. I think that was a damn Moss guy, and dropped down and then dropped down again. I don't get it. Oh, I figured out the match that we'll get to this in a minute, but like a no hose barred match. Remember? I mean, what holes are barred, really? I was thinking,
I'd say
nothing
chokehold,
is barred. Nothing's barred.
Chokehold, but Shayna gets to use the Cure Feet of Clutch. So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't get it. But anyway, continue. What was the next match? So we can slam this thing. But I kind of liked the show, though.
Oh, by the way, somebody asked why the pies and stuff were still sitting there. Yeah, at ringside for the Charlotte segment, because it was after Boogs and Angel Garza in the, what the hell they call this? The Thanksgiving
leftover throwdown.
Throwdown, excuse me. And literally no food got involved in the match.
Nope.
None. The only spot was the 2 dudes who weren't involved in the match. And actually, at first, I was pissed off that it was Boogs who was in the wrestling match tonight and not Shinsuke. And then I heard what the match was, and I'm like, oh, good. Boogs was the right choice for this. Absolutely. Do not put your Intercontinental
They're pushing that Boogs more than they're pushing...
Nakamura has been in more tag team feuds than singles feuds since he won the Intercontinental Championship.
He's defended the damn title 1 time on television. It pisses me off. And of course, he was the only other SmackDown guy to win on Sunday, and he won by DQ.
Yes, only one SmackDown guy got a pinfall victory on the night.
Hey, I tell you what I do know, though. One of the Mexican kids, he can play a guitar. No, he can. The way he the way he courted it.
Yeah.
He did do well.
And I don't know, why don't they take that and do an angle with it? He'd steal the guitar and start playing something, Hispanic or something.
You know what they should do? They should come up with a challenger for the Intercontinental title. That's what they should do.
They should probably do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Giselle has pointed out here, Body Slam Net, very talented young lady. Follow her on Twitter. Nakamura has not defended the title in 2 damn months. The last guy he defended the title against was Apollo Crews. He's on another damn show now.
Going for another damn mid-card title. Oh, my goodness.
Going for it, but then not going for it. That was confusing as all hell this past Monday.
I just love how, like, WWE fans, they hear fans be like, we want Nakamura to get a push. They put the king crown on him. They put the Intercontinental title on him. It's really a push for Rick Boogs. I love how everybody was like, we want the Hurt Business to come back. They came back. They got squashed 3-on-1 against Goldberg. You haven't seen them since. It's like whatever you should really think about what you asked for.
Where was it? Where was the crown tonight?
Xavier Woods asked for time off. Asked for the week off.
No, but didn't Roman steal it?
No, he broke it.
Yeah, he broke the tag.
He shattered that Burger King crown into 17,000 pieces.
Oh, that was embarrassing, really.
So maybe Xavier will come back next week with a new crown. Maybe that's why the storyline, why he was off, is he
may go having one made.
Yeah.
I got to speak to him over the weekend, and he says he has something in the works for a new crown.
Oh yes, please. Let's plug that, Sid, because you had quite the hell of a weekend. Let's get some house cleaning here.
Yeah.
You talked to like 6 different people that I have never gotten the chance to talk to. So you had a banner freaking Survivor Series weekend. Plug everything that's up on the YouTube channel right now, man.
Yeah, check it out. It's up on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel right now. My interview with King Woods. He tells me what's his next goals after winning the King of the Ring are for him. He has like a book where he writes down his goals. So he told me what his next one would be. Jeff Hardy and me got to talk. We talked about the 3 things he would like to accomplish in his his wrestling career before he retires. One of which is a reunion with his brother. He said that could be here or elsewhere. So definitely check that out. And also I spoke to Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, 24/7, a former 24/7 champion, Reggie, and Queen Zelina Vega. So it was a very good weekend. I was nervous at first, but very happy with what I was able to get out of the WWE superstars. Got to pop my media cherry, so that was fun.
There we go. There we go. Good boy. All of those are up on the Sports.
What an analogy. He went through all that good stuff to pop a cherry.
All right. Do we want to close the book on SmackDown? And I think we pretty much covered everything. I thought the in-ring action was a lot better this week.
Hey, that first hour, it flew by. It did.
It really did.
I just have an issue. I think the main reason why I'm seeing that I don't like SmackDown as of late is their pacing is totally shot. They will have someone go to the ring, then they'll do a recap, they'll do a full commercial, they come back from the commercial, do a backstage promo, and then the person in the ring, their music is still playing. They've been standing there for 10 minutes. That's an issue with pacing. I think more than anything, I totally agree with Rick. I think the wrestling was better this week than the last couple of weeks. Promo and story-wise, SmackDown is always much better than either of the other 2 WWE weekly shows in NXT 2.0 or Raw. My main issue week after week seems to be this pacing, because the pacing has just been all over the place, and it's been the same for the last couple of months now.
Yeah, I think
I thought it hadn't changed in 20 years, to tell you the truth. They used to wait in the ring. We say, go to the ring and just wait. So I just go in the ring, and me and Jack, and people they didn't hate us. So I just stood there and talked to Jack for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then come back, and you wait for the cameraman on the floor, and he does like this, and then you go.
I think for me tonight was better. Not that the rest, and when I say that the wrestling was better, I mean they gave them more time. The matches were longer. They actually the matches actually seemed to.
But there
was a beginning, middle, and an end.
There was a lot of action in the first hour. Even though they had more time, it didn't drag.
Not as much talking this week. I think last week we had like 12 promos and 6 matches, and this week we actually had more matches than talking. So I think overall it was good. A nice little mix there. But in the end, I don't really know what happened or what storylines have really been progressed. It just seemed like time filler tonight. So let's go to Sid's favorite show tonight, AEW Rampage. Started off hot. We had Cole and Fish versus Orange and Yuta.
Wait a minute. Who is Yuta?
Wheeler Yuta. He's basically.
I just saw him the first time tonight.
He's basically the young boy for Best Friends. Best Friends have taken him under their wing.
Is he Asian or what is he? Yuta? What is that? Or is that just a name?
I don't even try to guess.
I will have to look that up. That's a great question.
Let's see, Wheeler Yuta.
Is it Wheeler Yuta?
Yeah,
Yuta Wheeler.
Wheeler Yuta.
Okay. He was okay. This is one of my main issues with.
He's from Philadelphia.
I don't mean nothing now. Where's his parents from? That's what I want to know. I want to know background. This is a thing that that Cole kid. I don't think they're doing him any favors. They're not. He's supposed to be the big star from NXT, and he's in like. I mean, why was he in the match? It wasn't hot, was it? That he did anything with Cassidy?
I mean, I thought the fans were very hot for him in Orange Cassidy. It made me actually want to see them go one-on-one because of the fans' response to the whole Adam Cole baby and the hands in the pocket. Like they literally had the crowd on their feet with not doing anything in the ring, basically. So I think the fans actually want to see that matchup. I could see where you're coming from if you're somebody that thought, Adam Cole comes in, he's immediately going to get up to the main event scene, but that's not just, I really don't feel like that's how AEW does things, but I think they are going in a different direction with what Cole is doing now that they finally taken him away from Jurassic Express. So I wouldn't mind an Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy match. And I thought that this was a very good opener. The crowd was into everything. All 4 guys worked very hard. I thought it was a big win for Bobby Fish because I just thought Bobby Fish is in the match to take the loss here, but Wheeler Yuta instead took it with that sick Falcon Arrow off the top rope.
The avalanche Falcon Arrow, that was insane. I did really like the battle over the pockets at the beginning. Usually I'm a believable kind of guy, and it's like, who cares? Let him put his damn hands in his pockets. But that was just fun. That was just a fun exchange. The crowd was really, really into it. Orange, when he goes up to get the crowd involved, and Adam Cole's like, screw your damn crowd reaction. I'll show you a freaking crowd reaction before you even get into it. And it was just really, really fun. And by the way, Orange Cassidy, what that man can do with his hands in his pants is absolutely insane. He might be the most impressive man with his hands in his pants since Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in one game for Polk High.
Hey, that guy, I just watched him, and that guy is very talented. I mean, and he just goes that's his gimmick, his hands in the pants, and he got it over. So power to him, because that would be a hard gimmick to get over. But you got to have the support of the promoter if you want to get it over. But he got it over.
It's even harder to transition on TV. Because that character works in house shows.
That's where your social media comes in.
I find it funny because I remember when Orange Cassidy debuted for AEW, and before he debuted, a lot of people like the Jim Cornettes of the world thought, oh, your casual fans are not going to get into somebody like this. But when I actually watched Rampage tonight with a casual fan, the 2 people they loved the most was Orange Cassidy, because they knew the gimmick by just watching. The person turned to me and was like, his gimmick is he's lazy. I was like, yep. He was like, that's like the perfect gimmick for nowadays, because that's what the generation gets described at. I was like, exactly. And he was into the whole match because of that. And then later on in the night, the promo before the main event, he was instantly into Eddie Kingston. So those two characters that probably someone who's never watched AEW would just, or saw like a picture of them, would be like, oh, these are two people that casual fans will not be attracted to. I think those are the guys that attract casual fans the most, because these are two characters
he's
wouldn't
different
see in WWE.
He's different.
Yeah,
totally different. But I think a lot of these guys get these gimmicks over on social media first, because they can go have a match somewhere and do exactly how they want to promote themselves. And they get it shared everywhere, so a lot of people know who they are. It's a lot, to me, it's a lot more effective than TV in a lot of ways.
And I think this is where WWE does themselves a massive disservice, is because on the indie scene, these guys get over with these characters and people know them and they love them. They want to see them on a bigger platform. And then they come in NXT and they're like, all right, everything you know, get rid of it. We're going to give you a new name and a new character. And now you play poker and go. Get over or you're fired. That's they
do that.
Dang it.
I mean,
I can't hear anything. I stepped on my cord.
Really?
Somebody talk.
Hey, Sid, you know what he's doing?
What is he doing?
He's looking for his ass after you beat the shit out of him in trivia.
One of these days, I'll stop doing that. What'd I miss?
Nothing.
I'm going to go back and watch that.
I didn't say nothing.
He ain't say nothing. He ain't say nothing but the truth.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing.
This was a trivia thing. All right. Anyway. So yeah, fun opening match. Nice win for Bobby Fish.
Here's another big bitch. God, slow those announcers down. I mean, I cannot. I mean, even when they're talking about an event, if it wouldn't, they fun it, but they just run through it so much. It's almost like the announcers can't wait to get their stuff in. Just like the rest of that's true.
Gotta get their shit in.
And Mark Henry has gotten better, believe it or not.
He's found his niche with this.
Yep.
With this, I've been hearing so many people who were just not into him those first couple of weeks when he was on commentary. Now they're big fans. I've been seeing people on social media be like, it's time for the main event as a t-shirt. I want it.
Yeah.
I want it.
No, he's much better. I think he was nervous too.
Oh,
but he's much better. But those announcers, they talk incessantly. I mean, and you miss a lot of it.
Yeah,
that's what I liked about Lance Russell in Memphis. He wasn't word crazy, and they would do something, and then he'd put a reason to it or whatever. But he gave time for whatever they have done. He let it breathe. So that's one thing I think they could change. But how many announcers did they have tonight?
They had four.
Four again.
And how can WWE has trouble with 3.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have trouble with 2.
AEW had trouble with 3 for a while until they got into the groove of things.
Yeah,
so.
they found their chemistry. The problem is it's a different 4 people every week. There's no,
it's the same 4 the last couple of weeks.
The last couple of weeks, but since Rampage has been on, it's been damn near 4 different people almost every freaking night until they found this like niche that they've done with.
Is that Ricky Starks?
Yeah, Ricky Starks, Taz.
But see, I can't tell their voices apart at this point. They all blend together now. I can tell Taz.
I can tell Jericho apart.
But the other 2, Excalibur and Starks, I really can't tell them apart.
I tell Excalibur because he's the one saying the moves.
All the technical moves, every technical name, he throws it out there. He loves to flex that knowledge. And you know what? If you got it, do it. Screw it. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest problem with Jericho and Taz is I think they're more worried about getting like old school pop culture references in, and that's my gimmick. Quit stealing my shit. Anyway,
they're trying to pop each other most of the time.
Yes, they are. But
that's the issue there.
You know what I did like tonight on Rampage? That little girl, what's her name? Riho. Had a good match.
Oh, it was a great match.
And put her over.
Happen, but it's a great match.
And put her over. And
Dutch,
Now,
could you tell this guy that he has just been trained by WWE to not like non-title matches? Can you tell him how long in history of wrestling non-title matches have been going on and how it's been beneficial to promotions and promoters for years?
yeah, what he said. That's exactly the way I feel, Rick.
This was a this was a championship contenders match with a different name on it. Like that's all it was. And it's just my opinion, I hate the idea of having to pin the champion to get a shot at the champion. You don't see that in it. Imagine having to beat Mike Tyson to get a shot at Mike Tyson. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so Rick, who does she beat to get the title shot then?
That's a problem.
No. Don't tell me what my problem is. I asked you a simple question. To not have Riho beat Britt Baker, which I am saying is literally the only person who has credibility for her to beat to get the title shot. Who else does she beat? Rick?
Dude, why do we
Well,
have to do
I tell you
this
what,
now? That's my retort. Why do we have to do this now? Yes, anybody else of credibility is in the TBS title tournament, but why do you have to
got
do
a special?
This right
You got Winter is coming in 2 weeks. You got the special on TNT in a month. You got to start building your contenders somehow, some way, someday, and this was their way.
Then have her win a gauntlet match against somebody. I don't give a damn.
Don't
pin your champion. That should be the last thing you do is pin your damn champion.
I tried to help you before we were on camera and tell you that literally everyone else that could have been in this self-imposed gauntlet match is in the TBS title tournament, sir. And either they are in the TBS title tournament or they lost in the TBS title tournament. Therefore, ergo, they don't have credibility for Riho to beat to get a shot at Britt Baker. Britt Baker has had several non-title matches, and guess what? The system has always been the same. Britt Baker wins. Therefore, when she finally does lose a non-title match, it actually matters. I think you are under the belief that all non-title matches are championship contender matches, that there's no difference between
But this was literally a championship contenders match. If Riho
no, it's not. Because championship contender matches have not even led to everyone winning championship contender matches getting a title opportunity. This one will.
The last thing you should do is pin your champion.
Excuse me, I got to take a pill.
And maybe this was the last resort. Maybe you're right. Everything kind of lined up through the fact like, crap, we don't have any other options. Still doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, I'm not saying you have to like it. I just think that people go into into their thinking of watching wrestling of, I don't like this, instead of thinking of, how can I do it better? So I asked you the question on how they could do it better, and your answers all tell me that there was no better way to do this, so they had to do it this way.
Well,
I'll say this much.
You've already said it, Rick. Say it again.
Riho countering that fisherman neck breaker.
Yeah.
Was smooth as hell. Like, yeah, I'll get the finish. I love the finish. I hate the fact that Britt Baker got pinned, but I absolutely loved that finish. Riho is so damn good in the ring.
I like the finish. I like the match. I don't like the deal. If you win, you get a title shot. They could have left that out completely. You go in the ring and have Britt thinks she's got this wrapped up, and then the girl beats her. Now it's a bunch of you get to the same spot without a bunch of wraparound stuff. You don't need it. But I like that girl. I like that little Japanese girl, Riho.
This was AEW's way of basically making a make good for Riho, because she was upset about what happened at All Out when she was eliminated from the Battle Royal, but she didn't go over the top rope. She was upset backstage. There was fans online who mentioned it, and they were upset. And this is something that AEW has continuously do, is they acknowledge their mistakes, they come up with the solution, and then they give you the payoff. And that the payoff tonight was Riho getting the win here. So when you look at the top five, everybody else in the top five are in the TBS title tournament. Riho needed a big win to get the number one spot. this was the big win. If they build it up well over a couple of weeks up until winter is coming or the special in January, then I have no issue on this. The reason that I have an issue with this in regular time with WWE is that these championship contender matches don't even lead to a title match. It leads to another non-title match. At least I have the faith here. This is actually going to lead to a title match.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I can't argue with you.
I'm not arguing the point. Go ahead.
Real quick, I do want to go back because we did have a backstage promo before that. We had dueling Tony there for a second, Tony Schiavone, and then Tony Nese. I actually thought this was a really good showing, a really good promo for Tony Nese, talking about, hey, look, it ain't no secret why I've been in the damn audience. I've been scouting. That's what premier athletes do. If some of these other guys who were challenging for the TNT championship against Sammy Guevara were actually looking at their opponents and watching tape, they would have had a shot against him. And then Sammy comes in and he's like, oh, okay, look, another guy who ain't done shit talking trash. All right, let's hear it. Come on, say it to my damn face. Tony's like, no. Then he changes his tune and everything's fine. It's like, look, I just want to challenge you. Are we cool? We're cool. And then boom, he knocks him the hell down. And he's like, only reason you still have that is because I wasn't here to take it from your ass. Set up the match next week on Rampage. It was perfect. It was a very good introduction to action, how we say, for Tony Nese. I thought he came off looking really, really good tonight.
Since you brought that up, I thought the interview was good, but one punch is going to knock him down after all they do out there in the ring. I'm thinking, my God, he just flicked him, and the guy goes down. Oh my God, I'm dead.
That's part of a larger issue.
God, I'm thinking, if you're going to do that, take and break something over his head, or do something to leave. He has to have a reason to stay on the ground.
He should have hit him in the bad ribs like he did afterwards. If he would have didn't just punch him in the head, if he would have punched him in the ribs, it would have made more sense because of the injured ribs.
This is part of the.
If you were a new fan, let me say this. I don't want to drag this down, but if you were a new fan watching and you don't know anything about bad ribs or anything. I mean, if I was producing that segment and he hit him one time and the guy laid, then he pushed him the ribs, I'd say, you got to do it again. I mean, I've been with some guys. Now, this was with no action. I was with Jeff Hardy one time. Mm-hmm. We shot his segment about 16 times because he couldn't get it. And we didn't have that much for him to say, but he was having one of those days and he just didn't get it. So when you got to stay in a room with somebody, and I've done it, Jeff surprised me because he's been in the business for 400 years. Some new guys that don't get it, you just shoot over and over and over and over. And they keep saying, oh, yeah, I got it, and get it, screw it up again. And it's very frustrating. So.
Yeah, they don't really do that in AEW. If there's a mistake, they just kind of roll with it and leave it in. They don't try to overproduce, overperfect everything. You don't have to overproduce it, but the guy's got to get it right. If he's got to do an interview that you kind of believe it, if you're not believing it, the fans are not going to believe it.
Yeah.
And when they flub lines, you can't help that. They may have had the tone of the interview good, fine. But they flubbed the word, they flubbed the phrase or whatever you had them to say. Even if they were saying it on their own, they flubbed their own stuff. So you got to stop it because then they look like really jack-offs.
I think AEW did a great job of building up for next week, though, with the Tony Nese and Sammy Guevara TNT Championship matchup.
They should have a hell of a match.
Even better than that, though, Lucha Bros versus FTR, 2 out of 3 falls. I can't wait for next Friday, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a delight to watch.
That might be 35 minutes of the whole damn show.
That's why I was like, when they named 2 matches, I was like, they literally could do the whole hour on those 2 matches.
My hope is that they don't go that like, oh crap, we're crunched for time. All right, so let's do the thing where we do a disqualification like really, really quick at the beginning and then beat them down, and then there's a pinfall, and then all right, now the next 12 minutes is gonna be the deciding factor, which is basically a one falls match at that point.
So that's
how WWE books all of their 2 out of 3 falls matches.
When does WWE book 2 out of 3 fall matches? I never remember one.
There was a time where they did it like 4 times a night because Vince didn't want any wrestling during the commercial breaks. I don't think we've had one since.
Hey guys, years ago, when wrestling was not brand new, but they would go to a town, these smaller territories. They'd send 4 guys, 4 wrestlers, and 2 wrestlers would be on a single match, maybe going Broadway or 15 minutes. Then the next match would go out to 2 other guys. Then they took an intermission after every match, and then they would go out there, the 4 guys in a tag team, 2 out of 3, and that was your show. And they did good business. Hard to believe that, right? I remember some guys would go back between falls. Jackie Fargo did this. He would change into a different outfit between falls, and he'd come out in something else. It was entertaining.
Pulling the Mick Foley before Mick Foley was Mick Foley. All right, Sid, I'm going to have you take the lead for the main event because I missed a good chunk of it trying to get us on the air tonight because we had a snafu. So what happened? I saw dudes hitting the hell out of each other. I saw that.
You missed a fight. Those are
my favorite kind of matches, too.
It was 2 New Yorkers went out on a Friday night, one from Buffalo, one from Yonkers, and they went out there and beat the crap out of each other. That's why I do enjoy watching sometimes wrestling with a casual fan, because like literally this person turned around
he kicked the crap out of him.
Yeah, they was like, wait, what you got me watching? This feels real. Like this feels like a lot of it, even just the beginning, they didn't do the lockup like you usually see. They got down on the ground, they started grappling with each other. Eddie's like putting in elbow shots and they're like pushing each other in the face when they get each other in the corner. It was just hard hitting. It was very gritty. That's what I like to see. I like to see a gritty fight that makes me believe that I'm seeing a fight. So that's what this did. I thought that this was a great main event. Once again, Daniel Garcia delivers in the main event against a big-time star. He did that once again. And he's one of the most gifted young performers in professional wrestling today. Just how good he is as like working on a body part, grinding and attacking it. He just does it in such a realistic and authentic way. And he had the perfect dance partner in Eddie. And I like how he reversed Eddie's finisher and Eddie just kept spinning and hit another spinning back fist to get the victory. I thought it was a good finisher.
I like Eddie hurting his knee, his knee, because that slowed him down and he was fighting. And so he's telling a story, really. He's fighting, but he's fighting through an injury now. So, and everybody got that his knee is hurt, and so he may not be able to do what he normally does. But it was good for what it was, and like you said, it was a believable performance because that's Kingston's forte, Eddie's forte. And I don't think he would ever say I'm a great wrestler, but he'll say I'm a hell of a damn fighter.
He's a believable person, a believable wrestler, a believable character. And I love the fact you mentioned his selling of the knee, Dutch, because that he really makes you believe there's something wrong with his knee. Whenever he has trouble with his knee, you legitimately realize, and it's the one sell when he's getting thrown into the turnbuckle and he just like slides down and starts selling his knee. That's the one that's just like, is he really hurt? Like, is he okay? Like the way he does it is just great.
And even when you talk to him, it's really his on-screen character. It's almost the same thing as off. He's like a Steve Austin. He's the same guy whether you see him on screen or off. So, and he doesn't change that much. But they had a good match. They really did. That kid, what's the kid's name that he worked with?
Daniel Garcia.
He's very good.
23.
Yeah.
He's got a bright future ahead of him. Now, Garcia and 2.0 after the match, I did see the finish, start the beatdown of Eddie Kingston, and then we get babyface Chris Jericho.
Yep.
Slowly walking down to the ring to make the save and close out the show. What are we making of Y2J? the Painmaker, strolling down to the ring like it's a casual Sunday afternoon. He was in no hurry to make this save tonight.
Next, we gonna have Cody starting to try to team up with Hangman Page again. Like, yo, I'm sick of these guys who getting booed or not getting the response they once got. We're trying to leech on to the more popular guy.
Yeah, but Cody could make that work. The people kind of hate him anyway. And if you team with a baby face that they like, all you got to do is turn against him.
That's true.
And they just take off because they're looking for a reason to really hate Cody anyway. Even his wife is getting.
He's giving them enough by not.
No, that's organic, right? That's just a natural reaction.
You know what? I think if Cody teamed up with a babyface to try to get cheered, it would be like when the Bar first started, when everybody was cheering for Cesaro but still booing the hell out of Sheamus anytime he was in the ring. It was still like the only babyface heel tag team I've ever seen that I can like remember. Except I think this would be accelerated by or amplified by a million because they hate Cody Rhodes' ass for some damn reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he went out and just kicked everybody's dog or what, but like, he can't do anything right. Like nothing. In real life on screen, I just see people constantly shitting on Cody Rhodes, and I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. Am I out of the loop on something here?
If I was Cody, I'd be delighted because it did the work for me.
True.
Now I don't got to work. I just got to go out there and just look around and
throw your belt into the crowd and just duck.
And do they throw it back?
Yeah, they threw it back. They threw it back on Dynamite.
Oh, that's good. Because your work is done. Now you just got to go give them a genuine reason to dislike you, and you're off and running.
Yeah.
So if he turned against an over baby face like the cowboy kid Hangman or Cassidy,
that's
they
true.
They would hate him. So
if I'm Cody and I finally decide to pull the trigger and say, all right, yeah, I'm going to be the biggest piece of shit heel in this company because that's what the fans want. That's exactly what I would do. I'd book myself in a tag team match where I'm partnering with Hangman Page. And then I would turn on Hangman Page and say, guess what? I'm the next challenger for the AEW World Championship, which, by the way, I'm not allowed to challenge for, but that was my own damn rule. Screw it. It's out the window.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it. That's what makes the most sense. But I don't know if Cody actually wants to do that.
He doesn't. I think that's
so how do you know he does it? I don't think he'd be adverse to it.
I mean, that's what he's been telling people, basically.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it.
Whether it's been in his reality show, whether it's been in interviews, whether it's been on his conference calls, whether he's kayfabing it or it's a shoot, I don't know. But that has been his MO. That's like, look, when I lost that match and I said I would never challenge for the AEW World Championship, I meant it. And that was back when he was like King Babyface of AEW.
Yeah.
Well, the world has changed.
The world has changed quite a bit. One suggestion I would for Dutch, I would go out of my way to watch the MJF CM Punk promo exchange on
Dynamite. It was good.
It was fantastic. Fantastic in every way.
That was everything I wanted.
See, when you get two talents like that are over and they can talk. Ron Fuller used to say this all the time. He say, boys, you just got to talk them in. And that's what they did. I don't know if they talked anybody in or not, but if it's an interesting promo, then that will get your attention. Even better than a great match.
Yeah. Because
once they've seen the match, now they're going to see another match. You may hurt your own cause with the first match. But if they cut that promo and you buy into it, that's that ether zone I talk about, that either or, is it or not? And once you can get them in there. So how long was the interview?
It was 19 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Wow. And they held them for 20?
Yep. Yeah. There was 19 minutes, the longest promo, I think, segment in AEW history. Some awesome one-liners. No what chants. No, they were into everything they had to say.
The one thing I really love about AEW is they are not they will always go back to history, whether it's their history or not.
Yeah.
And when MJF is like, what the hell? What's going on with PG Punk here? You might as well be up here pimping hustle, loyalty, and respect, and all dropping the John Cena liners. And CM Punk just going, dude, basically the Miz is freaking better than you.
No, he called him a less famous Miz.
Yeah, I know.
A less what?
A less famous Miz.
He said you're a less famous Miz.
Oh, okay.
And then he said,
and they get that.
Yes.
Punk.
I mean,
It wasn't just one sided. Punk had some great lines toward him too. He was like, "You're so busy. You're talking about the 4 pillars of AEW, and you don't even realize that Britt Baker replaced you."
Yes,
that was good.
The best line though was when he basically compared him to Triple H. I forget exactly what he said.
He said you're talking about how you're the number one. We would have to wait so long for you to be number one that Tony would get a daughter and you would have to marry your way there.
But the thing is, it's inside, but they get that.
Yes.
So
they know their audience and they know what references their audience will know, and their audience delivered.
And that is a key to success. Know your audience.
Yep.
And they know their audience.
And don't ignore.
No, they don't ignore it.
No, the other company does. Here's the thing I love most about that. They're just getting started. That was round 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was round 1. God dang, this is what I wanted. This is what everybody wanted. These two guys delivered, and yeah, I don't even have to see these guys fight.
No, they
literally
keep talking every week.
Just talk. Their big blow off match could be a debate. I wouldn't care. I'd want to watch that more than a match, to be completely honest. But I'm more of a story guy than a match guy. That's just me. All right, Sid. Final thoughts. What you got going on? I know you got your show tomorrow.
Yes, check out the True Hill Heat YouTube channel tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going live with True Hill Heat 153 as we invite back our special guest, Jarrett Bailey of Fan-Sided NFL. He's going to be talking to us about the week that was with Survivor Series, as well as the latest wrestling news, including Johnny Gargano's contract status. So a lot of good things coming up. True Hill Heat tomorrow. And like I said before, check out my interviews right here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. King Woods, Jeff Hardy, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Reggie, and Queen Zelina. So some great stuff right there. And thank you all for watching, and hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving weekend.
That's what you got going on.
I'm going to do in the next probably 3 or 4 weeks a virtual signing for fans. I'll hit it on my Facebook page. I'll hit it on my Twitter and my Instagram. And you can sign autographs and my books and my trading cards. And you can go to my website, Dirty Dutch Mantell with 2 L's.com when I update it. And we'll go from there. If you want to ask me a question, dirtydutchmantell@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. So,
all right.
And don't ask me a bunch of questions about Rick, please, people. I get a lot of questions about you, Rick. I don't know why.
I'm popular. I mean,
well, it's not about popularity.
Some people might say I'm the face of this brand that is Sportskeeda. Some people might say
I would say that, Rick. I would say
that. Yes, Sid wasn't the only one who got to talk to some WWE people last week. I have a great 20-minute conversation up there with Drew McIntyre. Yes, I know he talks to everybody. He's talked to me 7 times this year, but it's still a damn good conversation. Get your ass up on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel and check that out. Go to ESPN1530.com. Go to Cincy360 on the podcast section. Listen to my conversation with Big E. Yes, we plugged Raw Cincinnati, but we talked about so much more than that. Also up on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel right now is our big Inside Cradle Thanksgiving special, which was a really fun episode. We spent a lot of time talking about food. It was supposed to be a half-hour episode. We were just kind of BSing about Thanksgiving. It ended up going an hour and 20. I blame Sid for joining the show and elongating that. And for you NFL fans, I will be back on Sirius XM this Sunday, Channel 88 NFL Radio, breaking down a big matchup this week. The Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Hopefully my Bengals can put a final nail in their coffin for this season. That would be fantastic. We do appreciate everybody who has tuned in for the last hour and 34 minutes, plus you sick bastards. It is 12:42 in the morning. Go to bed, folks.
God.
Enjoy your weekend. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you have a fantastic Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. We'll be back next week, next Friday, 11:05. Big Rampage coming up. I'm assuming there will be matches on SmackDown. We'll talk about it.